What's up, everybody? Welcome to System Crafters Live. I'm David Wilson, and today we're back with another Friday stream where we get together and talk about some kind of cool topic as a community. This week we're going to be talking about Emacs, as usual, I guess, and we're going to be hacking around with the Transient package. That is something that spawned off of the Magic package, which we've talked about a bunch of times on this channel. But we're going to check out Transient a little bit and see if we can use it for something cool today. Hello to everyone who joined early. Valentino, Yele, Pavel, Appenzel, Jeff, Marco, Alejandro, Gunn, Kyle, Daigo, John, Abdulrahman, GK Sudo, Thomas, Sachin, Robert, Lord Devi, Craig, Charles, Minas Mazar, Emmanuel. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. So, updates. There's not really many updates this week. To be perfectly honest with you, it's been a crazy busy week for me between other projects I've been working on, plus a lot of things at work, and also dealing with things related to, immigrating to this country. Hey, Adolfo, nice to see you. So I haven't got the video out that I said I was going to get out, but I've got it, like, I would say 85% written. I almost did it on stream today, but I had a better idea at the very last moment. So because it was very last moment, I haven't been very prepared for this, but it's one of these things we're going to try to figure things out as we go, which, I don't know, I kind of like doing it that way, so we'll figure it out. But I did want to say there will not be a stream next week, mainly because I'm going to be out of town with family. I think it's Greek Independence Day next weekend, so we're going to be, eating some food and doing a lot of fun stuff. So no stream on next Friday, but I plan to have a video out next week, so that should make up for it. And nothing else really of note. I haven't really been hacking on my own Emacs configuration much lately, but today what we're going to do is try to solve a problem that I have that I think that Transient might be able to help us with. So what we're going to do today is experiment with the Transient package to produce a Magic-like interface for the command line interface of my programming language Mesh. So I've mentioned it a few times. I haven't really gone into great detail in the channel because it's not really fully baked yet. It's just something I've been working on the Flux Harmonic channel. But I have a command line interface that runs a compiler, and then it obviously is going to have, command line parameters. And this is the type of interface that works very well with Transient. So Transient, in fact, let's just go to the Transient repo. Maybe it has a better top level description than I would give it just sort of off the cuff. Excuse me. Okay, well, I don't know that this is a better one-line description, but it says, taking inspiration from prefix keys and prefix arguments, Transient implements a similar abstraction involving a prefix command. I got distracted by Ashrat's comment. A prefix command, infix arguments, and suffix commands. We would call this abstraction a transient command, but because it always involves at least two commands, a prefix and a suffix, we prefer to call it a transient. I would not lead with that in a documentation page. I'm sorry to say that, Jonas, but that is like the most abstract way that you could describe what Transient does. Let me see if there's a better line in here for this. Okay, let's just look at what Transient looks like in reality, because that would be a better thing to do than reading that documentation page. So we're in Magic right now, and this screen is something else. I think it's Magic Status is another package, but if you do question mark, then you've got this whole panel of commands, and if you were to do something, let's say C for commit, then you have this nice little screen here that gives you the listing of arguments that the command can take, and you could type in, like, let's say -A, and to turn that particular argument on, and then there's also at the bottom the various different subcommands that you can use to execute various actions for this command. So the idea with Transient is that you're building up a command line interface call from a user interface in Emacs. And that's effectively what's happening here. You're setting the arguments that are going to be passed into the command, but you're doing it in a way that is a little bit more user-friendly and faster than typing the command yourself. So that's why I like Transient for this kind of idea, because it allows me to have a simple interface to expose the parameters to my compiler so that I can really easily either change the build configuration, change the target that I'm trying to build, run a script like a clean script or something like that. So it's going to be a lot easier to make that kind of interface in Emacs and have it be very productive using something like Transient than it would be if I had done it myself or just went to the command line to type things out. Let's see. Lord Divi says, love your family every chance you get. I agree with you. John says, doing it as you go always makes for the most fun. Well, it is for me, for sure. Ashra says, the crafter has paused crafting. Well, I've been crafting other things, so it's taken my attention completely. Pavel says, if you want a Magit-like interface, you may also take a look at Magit status. This one implements that buffer with collapsible sections. Yep, that's definitely the other one that you would need if you wanted to go full Magit, but I probably don't need that for my purposes. Ashra says, Transient creates transient interfaces that are used for a single function call, possibly with additional flags. That is a much more pithy description. I would say maybe if that's your own thing, maybe you should just submit a PR to the repo, because that might help people understand what the hell a thing is. Okay, so that's sort of the description of what we're going to try to do. So let's go take a look at this developer quick start guide. Before the stream, Pavel Koritov, who's in the chat here, mentioned it to me that there was actually a developer quick start guide. I don't know that this existed the last time that I tried looking at Transient, but it was kind of impenetrable back then. So I'm glad there's something now that might make this a little bit easier to digest. So let's see. This guide assumes that you have minimal knowledge of Emacs. Minimal? Well, I think you would need more than minimal to be writing Emacs Lisp. Some programming experience in Lisp and non-Lisp languages, and have at least seen some screenshots of Magit. Okay. So fine, prefix, suffix, nesting sub-prefixes. I'm skipping over a lot of information here, but we'll go back if I end up needing it. So in the long history of GNU projects, the object-oriented programming interface for a common Lisp is called EIEIO, which is part of the whole farm or animal metaphor. Don't ask me why it's called that. I figure if it was me, I would call it something different, but that's what it's called. Emacs Lisp ships with EIEIO. So if you don't get the joke with EIEIO, that's what you say in the song Old MacDonald. Old MacDonald had a farm, EIEIO. Whatever. Did I just sing Old MacDonald on a stream? A close cousin to the common Lisp object system. It's object-oriented programming. There are classes and subclasses. You can inherit into new classes and override methods to customize behaviors. So that's basically what they've done. They're using classes effectively and inheritance to define these interfaces. You can also use EIEIO's APIs to explore transient objects. Okay. Old McCarthy had a form, EIEIO. I did not know that there was one like that. Okay, so I don't need to read that. This is better. Let's look at this first. Define transient defined prefix. I would have switched the order of that probably. Transient toys hello. Say hello, H hello, then a lambda function. Fine. Okay, so we'll start from here. I'm gonna, let's see, pull up a new folder in projects code. Let's say in mesh mode .el. Provide mesh mode. Oh, maybe I'll rename things. Whoops. Another little problem with my configuration. I did not say select all. Come on. That's what happens when you start using the mouse for things. Okay, so transient toys hello. We'll just experiment with this for a second and see what it looks like. Okay, so we got a little basic transient at the very bottom of the screen. It may be difficult to see, but you can see there's an H for hello. If I press H, it says hello in the message area. Cool. Now, I wonder if there's a way to set like the banner or the text that shows up there. Equivalent forms, Compact forms and transient defined prefix allow shorthand definitions of suffixes and their bindings. Property lists handle more extensive declarations. Macros are available to separate out repetitive definitions or clean up later prefix bindings. Okay. Let's see. Transient toys wave. Wave at the user. Key description suffix. Oh, okay. Suffix or command symbol. Sure, fine. So let me just think a little bit about what I want from this tool. Daigo says, Transient is a hot topic to me. I recently knew about it from reading the Magic Code. Oh, reading the Magic Code, that's some in-depth stuff there. Hey, Benoit. Let's think about what things I need. So the mesh command line interface, I need to check in something. I don't know if I actually checked that in.